All right. My back. I hurt my back today. And it's been super hot, and the AC stopped working, so that had to be fixed. And I had work and a whole lot of shit. Anyway. Whatever. Sorry. I'm not totally, I'm not totally here. Anyway, but you know what? I'm not gonna miss this. I need to do the Ricky Gervais Guide to Natural History. I don't know if I'm doing these in the right chronological order, because I'm just going by the playlist. But I even the playlist, actually, I don't think it's like arranged correctly, because I remember the last one they said the next one is natural history, but in the playlist it's not the next one, so I had to jump to this one. I don't know, whatever. I don't think it matters, right? It's not like we're it's not, this isn't Game of Thrones, like I didn't need to see it in sequence. Anyways, yeah. Now the 3 simple rules are: no blah blah intro. I kind of blah blah there. No pausing. You know what? I think I will pause. I'll see. The last time, I didn't realize these 3 are gonna yap this much. Okay, so I think I think pausing is necessary, even maybe during their yapping. Anyway, the 3rd rule was some yada yada at the end. Hold on. I need my orange and lemon. That actually helps. Shit. Okay. Lego. Ow. Why does it sound like that? I hope it's just the beginning.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. The English biologist Thomas Huxley once wrote, "To a person uninstructed in natural history, his country or seaside stroll is a walk through a gallery filled with wonderful works of art, 9/10 of which have their faces turned to the wall. Teach him something of natural history, and you place in his hands a catalogue of those which are worth turning around. To some, the wonders and intricacies of the natural world are a miracle, living proof of the existence of God. To others, the natural world is a wondrous illustration of Darwinian evolution." To discuss the complexities of plant and animal life, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, graduate of the University of Warwick, an award-winning writer.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Karl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a man with a head like a fucking orange.
True.
Right.
Alright. There you go.
Natural history obviously takes in everything to do with animals, plants, bacteria, which are in neither group. I should start by just saying, Karl, that the natural world is so diverse that we don't even know how many species there are. Conservatively, there's 2 million species of animals. I mean, without even taking in plant life, there are at least 2 million species of animal. With plants and animals, there could be up to 10 million species. There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of that?
It's a lot.
It is, isn't it?
A lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Something in the
Well,
background.
it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking any mysteries.
Well, that's totally...
Plants are different. I reckon there's a natural cure for everything out there.
because there's loads of animals that have toxins that are used in medicine.
Yeah, I know that we use dangerous spiders to get rid of headaches or whatever, or they do in the tribes, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to just expand on that point?
It's just that's what they do in tribes.
Who's
They've got
they?
all natural. All these tribes, they've got all natural remedies. They go, what's up with you? You got a sore ankle? Chew on this twig. And it works. I've seen it. They sent women out there and, like, they couldn't believe the stuff they can do with twigs and trees and hedgehogs and stuff.
It
I'd
wasn't
say
an in-depth analysis, was it?
what I'm saying.
Women, they just sent some women out there.
No,
Yeah.
I reckon the stuff that's got venom in it that's useful. We probably know about all them because
Which means it doesn't make any sense. We
Right,
probably know about all of them.
What I mean is the police know about the gangsters, but
Right.
they go, right, we're aware of them, let them
Right.
get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of. The ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your
But
part.
they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We
No,
live in a
we
world
don't.
now.
How
We
do
do. We
you
know
know
about a lot of the
everything about-
dangerous stuff.
Hold on, pause this fucking chimp. So sorry. Okay, it's like, what do you mean? You know everything in life. What do you mean? Like there's nothing left to learn? Oh, he's insane. That's just nuts. How can he not know that? How can a grown man not know that we still don't know everything? I mean, it's a pretty straightforward, you know. We discovered something new. We discovered a new species. We discovered a new whatever. It's like, what is his issue? This again. You know, Steve said it sounds like laziness. To me, it sounds like jealousy. I feel like he's just jealous. You know, like why isn't anybody like looking for him? Yeah, well, even though Ricky did find him. Anyway, moving on.
Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new
look-
butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of
Well,
AIDS.
is not
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean
a
it's not a
like
natural
ladybird.
thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something
not
that's...
a living-
AIDS hasn't been like living under the soil for millions of years going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new thing. It's
Yeah,
new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? I mean, evolutionary terms. There's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top, right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities
Not
of the
an
universe,
answer.
of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. We've done this.
Yeah,
I think
I
there's someone in the
remember this stuff. I
1900s.
remember
We said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that
Right.
like, you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need
Yeah,
it.
but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains.
Hold on. It's jealousy, isn't it? All of it. All of it. All of Carl's replies about why he hates certain things, to me, translates as jealousy. Like, he's not saying, like, look at what they invented the frisbee. It's more like he's saying, I could have invented the frisbee, and you know, like, where is everybody when I'm trying to invent the frisbee? This is what I hear when he's talking. I don't hear like he's trying to be, you know, he's not. He's thinking about himself only. You know.
Of our generation, that was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
His PR people
in one
did.
of those programs where they did like great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And they started to run out because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody,
put bread in.
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shape it like
Necessity
that
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
niche?"
here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster,
See?
so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
He's jealous.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So
Right.
I'd just been beaten to the post.
Yeah, but all you're really doing, Karl, is modifying an existing invention.
What other examples are being pipped at the post, are there? It's got to be one that hasn't been done. Or it's not your theory.
But also something that unlocks a mystery.
Or helps the world.
What's causing problems in the world at the moment that needs sorting?
Oh, cures for things. Faster transport. Anything to do with security, anything to do with well-being, you know.
Mean, obviously environmental concerns are a big issue. People trying to design automobiles that can run on different alternative fuels.
I met a bloke on a conference once who sent a drawing to Blue Peter. It was their design a car of the future, and he sent them a drawing that was a car, and the only innovation was that you can have a shit while driving. And then he put shit goes down pipe, which becomes fuel. They must have looked at that and gone, what a maniac.
I think that's a brilliant... I mean, I've driven a long way. I drove to Cornwall recently, and I would have loved...
But I think he did it when he was about 9, and he must have thought, oh, I'm being driven to school, oh, I need the toilet, wouldn't it be good?
Well, why hasn't that been done?
What?
Well, like Steve says, I've been in the same situation when you're driving and you go, oh, where's the service station? You see a sign saying 36 miles.
So what would
you're in agony.
So you suggest pull your trousers down and shit down in the seat that's a toilet?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you got your nan in your back.
She's got one as well.
So you are going to Cornwall all shitting?
Well, not all the time, but it's more useful to me than a lighter.
So also,
Where do you wash your hands?
Wash your hands or wipe your arse? At what point does that occur?
At the end of the journey.
Oh, God! So, you get in, you have a shit at Deptford, and you wipe your arse at Polperro.
Yeah, but like I've said to you, this isn't like just people going, oh, I think I'll have one. You need one? Not really, but it's something to do, innit? I'm sick of playing I Spy, I'm having a shit. You have it when you really need one. When you have to pull off a motorway, it's a lot of messing about. There's probably going to be a queue at the toilet. No more queues at toilets.
10 minutes, Rick, that takes, doesn't it? 10 minutes to pull off, have a quick shit.
Driving along, it's just going on. It's just going on. Don't even know about it. Radio's on, everyone's happy. Doesn't matter.
No sound?
I don't know, I mean, we all do it as well, that's the thing.
Anything else you'd come up with? I mean, so far you've come up with nothing. That was a 9-year-old boy's idea.
I mean, the Breville maker wasn't needed.
That's true.
What's the Breville maker?
It's like toasted sandwiches. But there's so many things, chocolate fountains, anything like that. I just go, what are these? Who's invented these? Who's okayed this idea? And yet I can't have a shit on the motorway.
I'm back. Damn.
Think of computers.
What about them?
Well, I mean,
invented.
That's in the last few years, you know, 100 years in our existence. Okay,
Hold on, yeah. I mean, this was what 2002 or something. It was like 20 years ago or something, right? Like, imagine. I wonder what Karl thinks now that he sees these things, the AI and all of this, the stuff that has been invented in the last 20 years. I mean, wow. Wow. I can't think. I can't think other than AI. Even though AI was there, of course, but it's like not in this way. And also, it's I mean, there are inventions, I'm sure. So just they are very, you know, these days maybe the focus is more like integrated inventions. You know, like they may be inventing things that go inside your smartphone, and we just get the smartphone like we usually do. You know, but like, hey, it has a new capability now because they invented something new. Your lens can, you can see friggin' Mercury in space. The lens now is so crazy they're actually getting images from the end of the universe. I don't know where the hell they're getting these images from, but like I mean, if the phone in your hand can actually go that far, so imagine what like the telescopes can do. So lots of things have changed in just the 20 years since Karl opened his mouth in this podcast.
Been dabbling with anything even close to a computer. Nothing before that.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
Sorry, I had to pause it so I can get my rose milk. I know. Yes, I'm drinking rose milk. I don't care. I'm tired. Moving on.
I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Right.
Because I can't...
Right. Okay, where does that come from? I mean, maybe if you read, you would know where that came from. I'm sure in some book in the world, these inventions, you know, like you can probably see that they invented something before that, and they invented something before that, going all the way back to what, the like books, to the printed newspapers. I mean they used to like back in the olden days, they used to actually write like on tree logs, you know, like they would carve on logs of trees. So it's like that's all, you know, like the primitive version of these computer chips. They're just saving information, you know. But it's Karl. Moving on.
I believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You'd go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Karl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been
Yeah.
a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. Yeah. And then they go, hang on, what's this here?
Steering wheel.
And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find that it's sand.
But that as an explanation to human genius is nearly as ridiculous as the Adam and Eve explaining life on Earth. How could you tell that to someone without going red? I mean, I always worry about that, where people who believe in Adam and Eve, don't they wish there was a slightly better explanation? With all the evidence we've got, do you know what I mean? With all the evidence for evolution, that they think the Earth is 5,000 years old, and God made Adam out of some dust, and then he went, oh, I need a bird. It's alright, I'll make it out of your rib.
Yeah,
right?
but there's loads of things that you go, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. I bet Charles Darwin, when he said we've all come from apes, I bet he sat at home going... Should I tell him about the frisbee first?
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
But that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
He comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature.
Hold on. Is that true, though? Like you can't beat nature? I don't know. Nature's kind of... I don't know. It's so-so. It's not exactly perfect, right? Like, because you don't have all the ingredients to make perfect things, so you have to balance out. You have to, you know, lose some of the ingredients here so you can use them over here. Plus, we have all these delightful... natural, you know, like disasters, like the hurricanes and the typhoons and the earthquakes and the volcanoes. And like that's not exactly, you know, it's not exactly. And even things like diseases. I mean, the you know, like diseases are natural. They spread, you know. But I don't know. I'm not convinced you can't beat nature. Hasn't like I feel like human beings have already proven they can occasionally, you know, let's say improve on some of nature's elements. But
forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. Now it's clear to any sensible, reasonable, educated person that we did evolve from apes, or rather, we had a common ancestry, and that we're closest to the chimpanzee. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Karl. We're closer to a chimp than a chimp is to a gorilla. genetically speaking?
I just find that hard to believe when you.
Well,
look
I'm telling you, it's true. So
No, I know, but
what are you finding hard to believe?
Well, your eyes, your own eyes are what sort of comes up with a lot of thoughts.
No, no. One's eyes don't come up with thoughts.
No,
Two,
but what I'm saying is,
what you mean is
through your own eyes,
you look at things
you
and make up your own decisions.
So if there was no Darwin or anything,
Yeah.
and I was sat somewhere and someone said, right, we're going to bring a few animals in. One of them's related.
Right. They're all related.
All right, but they're all related to you, but one's not so long ago, right? And they brought them in, and they lined them up, and there was a chimp stood there,
Yeah.
and a gorilla,
Mm.
and what's another one?
Orangutan.
Right, yeah. Right, I go, the orangutan, send that out. I'll be first to go, so he's definitely not linked to me.
See, I disagree, but there we go. That's just looking at you.
No, so the hair colouring, there's none of that in our family.
Well, there's no hair.
Go.
I like the fact that it loses out because it's ginger.
So that's gone. Right, so I'm left with a gorilla and a chimp.
Yeah.
I would go for the gorilla.
Well, it's a good guess,
Humanness.
but you'd be wrong. So we are much closer to the chimpanzee, okay? 98.6% genetically identical. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse.
That's what I remember.
Because that's a lot different.
That's just
Animal
genius.
rights is a hot topic.
It's a big issue.
What rights should they have? How do they compare to humans? You know, it's a well-known fact that we test on animals with the assumption that humans are more important. We test drugs on animals, and we're basically saying if they die, they die. We'll learn something from them. People do make distinctions between animals, right? They know that it's probably more acceptable to kill an ant than
Punch a cow.
yeah, exactly. You know, I think that comes again from how close are they to humans? Have they got a face?
But that's
are they furry?
I told you, didn't I, about my dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait
not
a minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never
true.
heard this before. How have we had all these years
No,
of
I'm sure I
monkeys and
told
we've
you
never
about
heard
it
this
ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had like odd sort of pets and
When?
that, didn't they? In like about 68.
Oh,
In
1968,
1968.
when everyone had a monkey.
But he had to thump it. Now the weird thing is,
No, that's weird enough.
Is this is all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it.
yeah, my dad told me about it. When he found out that I was into monkeys, he said, "Oh, Benny thumped one." And
Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, "You thumped a monkey."
Yes, they do. They do go. You thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human, I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
and
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere. People go, "Oh, that's unfair." Now
They-
they're in like a cage in a zoo. You're going,
They-
it was better when I was pushing a piano up a stairs.
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going. Okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van
And
for a
we're,
living?
and we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. It's cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey.
Are you aware, Carl, that 99% of all forms of life that have existed on Earth are now extinct?
So there's only 1% of everything that's ever been still alive.
Yeah.
But that's just as well, isn't it?
Why?
Well, I think it's pretty crowded now.
No, that's
So
true.
it's just as well. You see, this is what I'm saying now. Years ago, they accepted that. Cavemen wouldn't have been going, oh, we're losing stuff's dying. Whereas now everyone's, oh, the panda, polar bears, not got any ice, and all that. At the end of the day, the world's only so big, we know it's not getting any bigger. Right? Stuff's got to die, hasn't it? You can't keep everything.
Just think of that, though, as a tool of natural selection, that the species that are surviving today are 1%. Just how amazing that is to survive and evolve. How perfect everything is on Earth. It's amazing.
No, but it'll drop off again, won't it? As we find in new stuff, other stuff will be dying.
Well,
in that
things
1%, when that was written, when that statement was made, was the dodo gone or was it still here?
It was.
I'm pretty sure the dodo was gone.
It was gone already.
It doesn't matter though, does it? A percentage is a percentage.
Yeah, the dodo went. The last dodo died. They said that was the last dodo. No more dodos. But we found...
Stop saying dodo.
There's Dido. Still making great
albums.
But yeah, we lost the dodo, but we've got Dido.
A recent album's not sold very well, actually.
I've heard it's
dying out. Dying out. Everything has a lifespan.
Dido's dying out.
But and I think that's life. So it's not amazing, really.
That's not either anymore.
No, that's not either. That's life's gone.
That's gone.
That was good.
What?
Esther Ranson forced to just die out in the jungle. Now.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
When I went to Natural History Museum, there was a thing called a cider or something. Right, died out ages ago. No one knows about them, which is weird because everyone knows about the dodo.
Well, that's because it died out in, I think, was it the 18th century or something, wasn't it?
Well, you know, within what might term recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this thing's sort of. I don't think it was far behind it. It's just timing, isn't it? That got more press, the dodo. The cider, whatever it's called. It was a big thing. It was a cross.
You've seen it, and you still don't know what it's called.
Well, it's spelled awkwardly. But but they said it was a cross between a moose and a giraffe. Now, we don't need that, do we? At no point have we said, do you know what we need here to get us through this?
Well, that's funny, because when they first named the giraffe, they called it the camelopard, because they thought it was a cross between a camel and a leopard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when zoologists examined a platypus for the first time, some of them thought it might have been a hoax, because they thought it could have been different parts of different animals sewn together, because the platypus has the fur of an otter, the tail of a beaver, the bill and feet of a duck, and the venomous spurs of a fighting gamecock. So they assumed that
it was like a scrap-eat challenge of animals.
Yeah, I remember, right?
But they actually...
Sorry,
just to clarify that, it actually is descended from a link between reptiles and mammals almost 150 million years ago, a sort of living fossil.
When I was about 13, 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style, try and bolt various bits of animals together?
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciative?
I thought they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest. Right.
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? Sense. It looks good. Bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino.
Perfect.
Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, you know. So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. Pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion?
Yeah, yeah.
So a scorpion that's the size of a rhinoceros?
Exactly, so the tail was as long as that rhino. So now this is a scary animal.
Yeah.
And this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
it would have collapsed immediately. So,
yeah. And you drew this, did you?
Drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone else?
Yeah, my mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
No reply at all.
Surprised.
What do you think of that, Karl? What would you? How would you though? What would if you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal? What would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay. So that's as big as you can be now then. So you can't really pop on a lion's head because it'd just lay there going, I can't fucking move.
Alright. I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah, why come and why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the human race. So, because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works, isn't it? With a cat and a dog and all that.
Hold on. You know what's interesting is that the animation really brought this to a whole different level. Because you know what? Now they're talking, and I'm remembering the animation, and I'm remembering like certain, you know, when Ricky was describing his animal, I'm remembering, you know, the animation. It's just it pops out, it stays in your mind. I mean, I would have, like, if I didn't have that to go on, I would be imagining those animals myself, and I don't think I would imagine them correctly, to be honest. I don't think I would get exactly what they're saying. But yeah, that's the thing that the animated version did. I mean, it's a completely different experience. My God. Well, okay.
So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have. I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you think? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl,
slithering along. How is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the sludge.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right? You come over, you kick the head off. How is this?
No, because the head can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a ball.
This isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's
why has it got this? Like, why is that so attractive?
What I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck, like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why have a limpet
stuff.
then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can.
Not only that, it's like, why didn't you just go with something like a flying fucking dragon? You know, a flying eagle, anything flying. You know, he can. It has wings, so it flies, and it's like that's safe enough, right? You're already in the sky, already away from most of the, you know. I don't know why Karl. I don't know why Karl does these things. I don't know why Karl's brain goes there. I can't explain it exactly. It's like, why is the thought that he comes up with a little bit like underwhelming? You know, like underachieving, underwhelming, just not as wow as it should be. Like, why is he so? I don't even have the word to describe this, because I don't think I've ever seen this before in my life. Like you can't produce a thought that is like just a wow, just something that makes you go wow. Oh my God, he produced a lot of amazing thoughts, to be honest, but it's just nothing. When he gets asked these questions, these type of questions by Ricky, he never really, you know, he never gives what a human being would give. Because the minute you ask anybody, it's like, tell me what kind of animal you'd make. Well, I'd make the best goddamn thing ever, you know, and they just go on giving you things about strength, things about speed, and things about flight, and things about, you know, like things that look scary, things that are poisonous, things that, I mean, the list goes on. But he's okay with just a slug-looking, whatever.
Just go and kick it.
What do you mean it can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, because
That's the
it'll
worst
lock
animal.
itself in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sack.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
the
so
worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
do-
what
well,
peacock
that's
feathers
the
do.
least
wait.
threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans,
Yeah.
but the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce.
Why?
They eat Why has he got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what he's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
They'd eat lettuce. It moves that and they'd eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall. you wouldn't even double take. It'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even explaining
got
its limitations.
Well,
Now
it's
got
mainly
problems.
made as to be on walls. 'Cause what else is living on walls?
Hold on. See what I mean? See what I mean? It's like, why? Why does his brain go there? Why has he decided that the best place for this fucked up animal is to be on a wall? A wall! Like, how is a wall even safe? Even the wall is not safe, to be honest. You know, like some rowdy kid can come and punch it and everything, and that's still not safe. I mean, why can't it like burrow underground or? You know what? Leave it.
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
But nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was, I think. That's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense.
Gobbledygook.
Absolute
Well,
nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute
Well,
nonsense.
it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old.
Will to
What's my
live.
purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed, and they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? It can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat
Yeah,
it.
but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It'd
making
always be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, "It's not for me." That.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on?
I've
That
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
once
It's
again
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
If scientists could bring back to life the creatures that have existed in the past, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Jurassic Park.
Bad idea?
Yeah.
Now, leaving aside the horrors of Jurassic Park, do you think for research purposes it might be a useful idea?
I don't think it is. For me, it's like a Friends reunited. It's like people who you knew ages ago getting back in touch, and you go, "I don't want to get in touch with you." That was then, and it's the same with a mammoth. That was then. You had your day. It didn't work out. Now to bring it back, it's unfair. You're messing with nature anyway. I think I've said to you before about I don't know what they do with them. They're massive things. I think it's like they're just not thinking about it. It's like rushing into buying furniture that's massive, and then you get it back and you can't get it through the door.
No,
And it'll be like that with a mammoth. Where are we putting them? Oh, I didn't think of that.
But what about if you could say you could feed the third world with mammoth meat?
But what's wrong with we've got loads of cows and stuff. Why do they need a mammoth?
That's true.
No one even knows what it tastes like. Imagine that. You bring it back and you've got another dodo on your hands.
No,
People go,
but-
this is this is horrible.
Well, they used to eat them because they, again, what humans found out is they could take down a mammoth, but they got greedy and they found out they could chase them, and so they'd go over an edge of a cliff. And what they did, they went crazy and they used to herd them and they'd all die. But of course, then they'd waste the meat because they couldn't eat it all.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's why we shouldn't bring them back, because they are too big. So even if
Didn't hear a word of what you said then. Didn't hear a word.
no, I did. Everyone can eat them, but the problem is they're so big that you couldn't eat it quick enough, so it all went off.
Yeah, but I was saying that they killed too many at once.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't know what you're talking about.
I heard that. But what I'm saying is, why not bring back an animal that's smaller, manageable for everyone?
Yeah.
That's why the chicken is perfect. Out of all the animals, perfect. Good size, feeds a family of 4. Whilst it's alive, it's giving you eggs.
I agree.
So it tastes nice.
But it doesn't if you think it's not having a good life. If suddenly said to me, I stopped eating it because I found out about how badly they were treated like 10 years ago, and at least I have organic. And honestly, eating an animal that's been tortured doesn't taste nice. Foie gras would make me vomit. The thought of it, the evil involved in torturing a goose because the liver tastes slightly better. I mean, where does it end?
I think if they're looked after, they don't want to die. The ones in a nice warm little, hut, being fed lovely food, you're going, right, we're going to cut your head off, and they're probably like, oh, God, I'm going to miss this. I'm loving this life. Whereas the one sat in its own shit's going, have me first, I'm sick of it. There's different ways of looking at it.
Good point. So what you're saying is,
cartoon.
give animals a bad life, torture them, and they'll be happy when you eat them. Brilliant.
But we've ordered we've ordered a turkey.
Right.
It's way too big. So I don't know what we're going to do with it. And it's worrying me now, actually. It'll be nice on Christmas Day, but it's my job to look after the kitchen and everything, tidy up. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it all.
The fact that he's been given a job to make him worthwhile, really, it's like a little home.
No, but a chicken, your chicken...
Arthur, you're washing up today, aren't you? Yeah, Arthur's job.
And that's the problem with a mammoth. I think the idea of it's probably quite pleasant. You go, oh, that's something new to try out. But afterwards, when you've got to tidy it up and stick it in cling film, you'll be going, how much of this have we got? So I wouldn't bring back the mammoth.
Brilliant.
Charles Darwin, of course, once said, I cannot persuade myself that a beneficent and omnipotent God would have created parasitic wasps with the express intention of their feeding within the living bodies of caterpillars. His point being that, creatures and their reproductive cycles are so complicated, so intricate, so bizarre, that alone is proof of the non-existence of God. Where do you stand on that?
It's pretty weird. We talked about it ages ago, didn't we, about the wasp that has a thing growing in it and all that.
Lays its egg in a spider.
Yeah, and then the spider goes mad, doesn't it?
You fucking cunt, laying your eggs in me, you fucking stripy wanker. Goes absolutely fucking mad.
It is weird.
I know what's going up my arse in a couple of what you fucking...
I don't know how it found out that that's what it had to do. That's the amazing thing, isn't it?
Well, it didn't, did it?
It just did it.
No, I know, but when I say found out, I mean it just did it.
Well, it's like mimicry, when they say mimicry, that there's a poisonous snake, and then a snake comes along that looks a bit like it that's not poisonous, but people go, oh, careful, it's poisonous. That snake didn't go, I'm gonna strain, and I'm gonna try and look like Scary over there. Some were born that looked a bit like Scary, and they survived.
Yeah, I know.
It's just being chosen.
But that's changing now, isn't it? The fact that, like, when them frogs came out, that are dangerous, they were just dangerous.
What frogs came out? But
There's some frogs in the jungle somewhere that were, like, pretty dangerous.
New from Mattel, dangerous frogs in the jungle.
yeah.
But people didn't know that they were dangerous. And they were going about killing loads of stuff. Anyway.
They weren't going, they don't go around killing loads of stuff.
Nature said, this is a bit unfair. Make them orange. So then, the frogs that were orange were dangerous, but you got a warning. It was a bit more fair. Nature said if they're going to go about being dangerous, make them orange, make them stand out. In a jungle, orange stands out in all the green, right? So people went, there's an orange frog, stay away. Then over time, nature went, right, what's happened here now? Everyone knows the orange frog's dangerous. Birds aren't eating it because they know it's dangerous. People are avoiding it. They don't even need the poison, it's just the orange it needs. So now you've got a load of frogs that are orange, not even deadly. But people go, is that a deadly orange one, or is it a friendly one? Well, best to leave it.
Again, he's explained my point, but took 30 times as long over
But
it.
also
But
in his
listen,
head-
let me finish what I was going to say. But what's interesting with all that is, evolution has taught stuff to lie. Because that orange frog isn't deadly, it's going about like it's the big I am.
Yeah.
You could squash it with your hand, you can't do anything. But evolution...
He's swaggering around.
It's made it lie. So lying is part of evolution.
But it's not lying, is it?
What do you mean?
Wow.
It's got no
But the
poison.
interesting thing about, like a toad that secretes a poison is that often it's no good for it as an individual, but it's good for the species as a whole, because someone will come along and chew it. Now, that toad might well die, but that fox is sick, and it doesn't eat another one. So...
Hold on. This thing about the species as a whole is, I think, is outdated. No, I don't think so. I think it's... I don't think that they believe like things happen for the good of the species. I think that's very old, and it's been binned a long time ago. Probably before 2002 or whatever this was, even. Well, maybe Ricky just stopped, updating his information.
It's sort of saving the species.
Yeah, but at the same time, the dodo tasted rubbish. Everybody said,
You know,
don't eat one of them
don't know
again.
that. We don't know
Again,
that. We don't know that. We don't know
I have read it. I've read that they don't taste very nice. But it didn't
Why
stop
doesn't it
dying
taste very
out.
nice?
It's
Why
just in the same way that chicken's nicer than duck. You can't all have nice tasting flesh. Pork's alright, but I prefer beef.
Point proven. Good night.
So what I'm saying is, with the dodo, it did taste horrible, but everyone wanted to give it a go. Meanwhile, it's different people trying it, so it died out in the end anyway. So your theory of a frog being poisonous and a fox going, yeah, that's horrible, I won't eat another one of them. Then you get another fox trying one, and another fox. They don't all have a word with each other, do they? They go, I had a rotten frog the other night. So it's pointless. It's a pointless exercise.
What I like is your image of nature. This idea that sort of, in your head, there's Mother Nature sat around like a boardroom table, making these decisions. People are coming in, oi, frog, what's been going on? Well, I've been poisoning people. Why? What about you? It's just... You just picture everything as one large
Your
reasoned...
confusion is that you still think of evolution has a will. You still believe that things are striving to be something else, as opposed to surviving if they adapt or change. I just want to go through some of the wonderful diversity of nature, some of the incredible feats of the animal kingdom, in a way. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Alligators and old people have something in common. They can hear notes only up to 4,000 vibrations a second.
I don't know what you meant to do with that information.
Exactly. Me neither, to be
When's that
honest.
ever come in handy? When a band's getting together, they don't go, no, we're after crocodiles and old people. What sort of tune do they like? It's pointless.
You're not impressed, okay. Scientists have applied electrodes to the pleasure centre in a rat's brain. The rat pressed a lever 48,000 times over a full day in order to receive that shock that seemed to him pleasurable, choosing the simulator instead of having water or food or sex. So it chose that virtual pleasure, well, not virtual pleasure, it gave it real pleasure, but an artificial stimulus rather than the real
They
thing
made the
like
rat an
food
addict.
or water.
It never ate and had water. It never had a change.
No, it was addicted. It loved this electrode. It was giving it. It just made it feel good. It was getting as much pleasure from that as the real thing, from sex or food.
Yeah, but with any pleasure, you get sick of it, don't you? If you have too much of it.
Well, it had 48,000 hits in a day.
But I like having a Twix. But if I have more than 4 a week, I go, I've ruined that little pleasure I used to like.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what did he do the second day?
No,
did he go
but
near the machine the second day?
No.
There you go then.
No. But what you're saying is this, right? That Twix is failing to give you pleasure. on that 5th Twix, but this succeeds every time because it's literally pleasure. It hits the part of the brain that says this is pleasurable.
So,
But
my pleasure nerve that you're talking about in my head, it lights up when I have Twix.
I don't think it ever lights up.
Right.
I don't think you've got a pleasure nerve.
But it lights up when I have a Twix.
Right.
It lights up if there's some chicken, right? It lights
Fuck
up if
me.
there's a,
What a miserable cunt he is.
you know, all loads of things.
Chicken and Twix.
That's it.
Now-
That's all he lives for.
No.
Hang yourself, mate.
So, what you're saying is, if I had that device that the rat's got,
Yeah.
I'd just sit there, wouldn't I, hitting it, thinking, I can't be bothered going to the shop for a Twix, I'll just hit this button.
Yeah. Think of this. So aggressive is the horned frog of Argentina that people believe that if the frog bites the lip of a horse, the horse will die. Actually, the frog's mouth contains no poison. It earned its fearsome reputation because it attacks animals many times its size. What do you think of a frog
It's
attacking
ridiculous.
a horse?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that would happen. Why is he getting upset with a horse? Of all the things for a frog to be like getting cocky with, them two should never even meet.
Why?
Because it's not. I mean, fights are normally over something, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you have a fight with someone, you're in my yard, or you
Yeah.
know, you're fighting over something. A horse
I
and a
love the fact
frog.
that he immediately goes back to the 1930s.
Yeah.
You're in my yard.
But a horse and a frog. How did that disagreement
What are they
happen?
squabbling over?
I don't understand what they've got in common. I don't understand it. I bet that's only happened once. It's a rare incident. Someone's put that in a book. I can't imagine it. That's happening a lot. That horses are being bit by frogs all over the shop.
Oh God! I saw this trailer for this documentary that said the man who's having a baby, and I turned on, and it's a woman going through a sex change, and she's pregnant.
Okay.
That's not a man having a baby. That's a woman having a beard.
Having a breakdown.
Why is that? That's a con. That is pure sense. It's a man having a baby. Look, world's first. No, it's a woman. It's a woman. What do you think of that? What would you do if you were a doctor and I came to you and went, Karl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm going to get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What? It's not why we cover them, though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you hate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. So, are you thinking fundamentally, then, that aesthetically, the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than
Yeah.
and that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology,
You need, you know, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed the semen and all that. So, they you know, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them. Wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that
but
makes
it'd
you
be
feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that they were just then you dropped them. It's like, right, we need to cool them down. Be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Zzz, drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and landing gear down,
Yeah, good
and the
analogy,
bollocks
actually.
and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they
the-
could detach and you could pop them in the fridge. Cool
Yeah.
them down.
Can you make me some breasts?
easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Just how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but
Testosterone, innit?
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Well, sort of pointy tips, like Madonna.
Where do you stop though? Supposing I came to you and said, Doctor, listen, I like the bollocks, I like the penis, but I don't like them where they are. I want them in the middle of my chest. I want breasticles. Yeah? The arse, I don't like it around the back, I can't see what's going on. Pop that on the front where the bollocks were. I want my arse where I can look down and see what's going on. Can you do it?
I think it's just easier to move the head, isn't it?
Rick, I know you're a big fan of Professor Richard Dawkins, the evolutionary biologist. He wrote a book, The Ancestor's Tale, in which he predicted a post-human world. This was his kind of hypothesis. If we were let me read what he's written. If nuclear war destroys humanity and most of the rest of life, a good bet for survival in the short term and for evolutionary ancestry in the long term is rats. I have a post-Armageddon vision. We and all the other large animals are gone. Rodents emerge as the ultimate post-human scavengers. They gnaw their way through New York, London and Tokyo, digesting spilled larders, ghost supermarkets and human corpses, and turning them into new generations of rats and mice, whose racing populations explode out of the cities and into the countryside. When all the relics of human profligacy are eaten, populations crash again and the rodents turn on each other, and on the cockroaches scavenging with them. In a period of intense competition, short generations perhaps with radioactivity enhanced mutation rates boost rapid evolution. With human ships and planes gone, islands become islands again, with local populations isolated, save for occasional lucky raftings. Ideal conditions for evolutionary divergence. Within 5 million years, a whole range of new species replace the ones we know. Herds of giant grazing rats are stalked by saber-toothed predatory rats. Given enough time, will a species of intelligent cultivated rats emerge? Will rodent historians and scientists eventually organise careful archaeological digs and through the strata of our long compacted cities reconstruct the peculiar and temporally tragic circumstances that gave ratkind its big break?
Karl, thoughts?
None.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
That's good, actually.
Well, that's about it for the second in the series of the Ricky Gervais Guide to. That was natural history.
I think we've left no stone unturned there, Rick.
I think that is a definitive work. If you've enjoyed the Ricky Gervais Guide to Natural History, why not go back and listen to the Ricky Gervais Guide to Medicine, if you haven't already, or if you have, because it'd be revision. You know what I mean?
There will be a test.
There won't be a test. We can't be bothered.
No.
And next in the series is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Arts. Look forward to that.
So just to clarify, that's the arts.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the arts.
Sorry, just
yeah, the arts.
The way you speak.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you should never go away. People speak your words away.
Yeah, well, no, but just be clear.
Well, no, but you're not being clear, aren't you? You're making dumb, bumbling fool. And we won't even get on to Karl Pilkington. Dopey twat. Anyway, thank you very much. From me, Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Jeez. Okay. The arts next. The arts. Well, I actually used to read Richard Dawkins. I used to read his books. This was many years ago when I cared about life. And I gotta say, two things that still impress me to this day. The word meme, I believe, was coined by him in one of his books. Maybe it was in The Selfish Gene, I don't remember. But I think that the word meme was coined by him, I believe. And I don't think he intended it to be used, the same way we use memes today. I don't think that's what that's the vision that he had in mind. But he did coin the term. And also, I remember, his books really just explain human behavior to me. Like, after I read The Selfish Gene, I was like, nothing surprises me anymore. Like, yeah, like whatever fucked up kind of human behavior you show me, I'm probably gonna find a way to explain it, why that person is fucked up. You know, probably even in like an evolutionary context, most likely. It's just like the you know just it went out of me. You know, like this thing about, oh, why is this person behaving like this? That's so, you know, that's a horrible thing. That's like all of that is out. And I'm like, yeah, I know why he's doing that. I know exactly why that piece of shit is doing this. That's what I took from Professor Richard Dawkins. But yeah, well, this was yet another. I mean, yes, I mean, I remember a bunch of them, but a bunch of what you know, these discussions between the three. But yes, there are some that really stood out. I realized, you know, like they did cut out a lot from the animated version. I mean, they can't include all of this. First of all, Ricky goes on about his thing about, you know, attacking any kind of theology, any kind of. It's like I get it, but it's like maybe not everybody wants to hear that when Karl is talking. I don't even think Karl wants to hear that, to be honest. It's just like nobody cares. Also, it's a completely different thing. It's faith and you know, faith is just faith. I think you just believe in things. Completely different from, you know, logic and science and fact-based and whatever. I'm too exhausted. Like my back. But I was gonna say that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yes. So yeah, Ricky goes off on that thing. So they had to cut out a lot of this. I can see it. You know, they cut out the parts that either gonna be a little too aggressive for some people, or the parts that are just like, even Karl just won't shut up. Just like goes on and on and on. There are parts in here. It's like he's talking about the birds and he's talking about the dodo and he's talking about like, I don't even know. Well, it's like I can't even follow. You know, it's like what? And most of it is conjecture, to be honest. I mean, most of it is just him guessing things. It's like, well, it tasted bad. I read that it tasted bad. Okay, you read that it tasted bad, but we know how Karl reads. Maybe he read, you know, something that said, you know, it's a misconception that you know, the dodo tasted bad. The dodo tasted, you know, yeah, bad. And then he just reads that part like the dodo tasted bad. We don't know. You know, from my experience with Karl so far, I don't trust anything when he says I read it. You know, like it goes through the filter. It goes through the Karl filter. So, no, it doesn't count. I loved his response at the end. Well, who knows what's gonna happen? You know what? That's even better than that whole part that Richard Dawkins mentioned in his book. It's even better, to be honest. Like, it's true. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. This guy envisioning giant rodents. Well, yeah. That was crazy. You know, it feels different listening to these now, because I mean, once you get to the animated, which is like all the laughs, to me, I just laugh like crazy watching that. But now you get to the point, because after that I've watched the XFM, I've watched a bunch of interviews, I've watched An Idiot Abroad, I'm still watching The Morning of Life. I already kind of know what, you know, like I can already tell what's happening with that. And after all of that, like I go back to this and I'm like, listen, Karl, let me tell you something. that's the feeling that I get. It's like listen, I like went through your whole body of work, okay? So now let me tell you what I think about what you think. Because I don't know, I mean, the when you hear it for the first time, you kind of think Karl is somewhat of a genius. You kind of think it's like, this guy's an underrated genius. Then you hear more, and then you hear, you know, like you keep hearing whatever he's saying, and then you realize, you know, that's just kind of stupid a little bit. It's just a little bit of stupid there, you know. Yeah, but overall, it's still he still makes me laugh. I don't know. That's his real gift, to be honest. Just like he catches me off guard by his responses. Still, even if I disagree with what he's saying, it's like you really came out of nowhere with that one. Well, that was fun. Okay, looking forward to what Karl says about the arts. Okay, I already kind of know. I already have an idea about what he thinks of the arts. What's art about that? Oh, God. Cannot forget that one. Well, yep, that's next. And that's it for now. Until next time. Bye.